There is a huge problem with so-called reviews of camera and gear here on YouTube that we need to talk about. Problems that are causing people to waste their money or maybe avoid buying something that is actually good. Before I dig into this, I have to say I'm friends with several people on YouTube, and I'm not saying that as some kind of a flex of any kind. And none of what I'm going to say is a dig at any one person. I'm probably like many of you out there watching this that spends a lot of time watching videos from various YouTubers before I go out and I buy something. With inflation being what it is today and photography being an expensive hobby and an expensive profession to be a part of, we don't want to make the mistake of buying the wrong thing. So what's the problem with these videos that I and many of you are watching, where a content creator, a journalist, a vlogger, whatever, is providing you with a review of something? It all boils down to bias. Now, I know bias is an ugly word. If you tell someone in this industry that they are biased, it's almost like you are telling them that their mama is fat or that their kids are ugly. Most YouTubers don't want to be associated with any of that, but the reality is every single YouTuber making reviews has a bias of some sort or another. To illustrate this, I'm going to share a story you probably don't know about me. Before I got into photography, I used to work at a large nationwide consumer electronics retailer. They aren't in business anymore. This was in the early to mid 2000s, but we sold a lot of different brands in that store. One of the brands that we all know today became a brand whose products I really did not like. So much so that anytime a customer would come in and they would want to buy something that that company made, I would actively go out there and try to show them a competing product. The products that this specific company made were often more expensive than other things and other products that we had in the store. It was less compatible with the software that I and many other people would use. And the accessories that were available for it were often more expensive and didn't work as well. I felt like I was doing customers a favor, helping them save money buying something that had more utility for less money. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but you're welcome to guess what brand of products that I'm talking about in the comment section. The point is that I was biased, not for some other specific brand, but against the products made by this other brand. It made no sense to me why someone would go and buy something that they couldn't get repaired easily whenever something went wrong, which it always did. None of it made sense to me because I was biased. I recognize that. So when people would come in looking for products from this particular brand, I would let them know that I had a bias against that brand, but I would offer to show them the product, and if it matched up with whatever their needs were, then so be it. So what does this have to do with YouTube reviews today? Well, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but every single person on YouTube, including those that are making AI generated content, every single one of them, they are all biased, okay? They are biased for some brands and products. Some are biased against certain brands and products, but make no mistake, there is bias in every single one of those videos. This is the first of a few problems with reviews here on YouTube as I see it. Some creators are biased like I was back in the day, where I simply didn't like the products and the philosophy that a brand applied towards making their products. Some biases come because they are paid by someone else to drive a certain narrative. Legally, that has to be disclosed, by the way, but I like to think that some biases come from our outlook on life. The way we were brought up, the way that we just see things. Lots of people look at things with a glass half empty point of view, and others look at it with a glass half full outlook. Here on my channel, I've avoided making videos with review in the title in recent years because of this fact. I'm biased towards the things I like, all right? If you ask me to review vanilla ice cream and compare it to strawberry, because I love vanilla ice cream, it will always be better, all right? And because I don't like strawberry ice cream, it will probably always get a negative review from me. That stuff is nasty. Those biases are just one of the things that keep me from doing traditional reviews here on YouTube. I understand that while I may not like something or find issues personally with a product, something I don't like. It could be that whoever that product was actually designed for, it might be perfect. All right. I'm a pretty simple guy. And if I use something and I like the way that it works and it works for what I need it for, that would be the end of my review. All right. Now, yes, there are things that are out there that I could possibly want to make better, that I would like to see in any product that, maybe it could be cheaper or whatever the case might be. But I don't think it matters in the context of reviewing a product. The things that actually matter to me, well, does it do what it says on the package? Does it work for whatever it is that you need it for, right? That's what I would base a review on, but that type of review wouldn't get views here on YouTube. The kind of reviews that get views on YouTube are those that go into some really silly places. You've got some reviewers talking about how a lens smells in a box. I smell notes of cardboard and plastic. Now, I know it's for entertainment purposes, but is that really what reviews are about? Is it entertainment or information? Here's the reality. I don't put stock in any reviews online where the products aren't readily available on the open market. Those types of videos shouldn't be labeled as reviews, in my opinion. They should be first look videos or first impressions, something like that, but definitely not a review. You see, reviews take time, but the nature of YouTube and how the algorithm here works, you just never have enough time to truly test something to its limits. There's this thing on YouTube called authority where certain content creators can post on a certain topic and basically dominate when it comes to views. If I made a video review about a phone, for example, that's been out for 6 months, and you search for it on this platform, you're unlikely to see my video about it when several other larger creators have already made videos about it. The search volume for new releases peaks when it's announced, and it kind of just tapers down from there. And therein lies the problem for me. Why make a review about a camera, a lens, whatever, in a way that I think would actually be helpful, which would be after using it for 3 to 6 months exclusively? Why make that review when bigger channels are going to put a review video either the same day that it's announced or a few days afterwards and drive all of the views away from the video that I'm going to make? If you ask me, that sounds like a complete waste of time and money. Now, I'm not saying that biased reviews don't have value. If you're like me and you're buying something based on the facts of what a product can do, most of those videos get the job done. After watching those videos, at least I'm a little more educated and familiar with the product before I go out and spend my money on it, and that's not a bad thing.